Hello, my name is Lucas. This is Bit of Lit. I'm here to talk about my March TBR, a little bit of a library haul from work, and my February wrap-up. First things first, the first thing I'm reading, which I started at the end of February, is by Isabel Wilkerson, the Pulitzer Prize winner. She's written The Warmth of Other Suns, but I am reading Caste, The Origins of Our Discontents, and this is about the superstructure caste system in America, where white people are on top and people of color are below. And at the very bottom, these sort of untouchables, the Dalits, if you will, are black people, historically. And yeah, it's really good. It talks about the history of this in America and also in India, and how it works there and how it works in America. And sometimes, it's not even a racism, it's not driven by racism. It's just sort of insidious sort of expectation of ideas and interactions and these kind of things that are so ingrained that they're sort of subconscious. It is a very interesting book. I am enjoying it a lot. I'm 7 chapters in, and I hope to finish it by in a few days at least. As far as the other books I will read, I don't know exactly what I'll read in March. I will probably read the Brothers Karamazov. Maybe that's about it. I'll try to read Zora Neale Hurston's, I think that's her name, Their Eyes Were Watching God. And then I will finally get to Joseph Campbell's The Inner Reaches of Outer Space, and I will also read this titan, The Hero with 1,000 Faces, so I can finally return them. I borrowed them in December or November, and I haven't read them yet. I will also read Diana Wynne Jones's Castle in the Air, which is a companion to Howl's Moving Castle. It's sort of the second in the series, I guess. I'm looking forward to this. I will probably make a video about this and all the books that I've already talked about. I will also read some Junior Jedi Knights Star Wars children's novels, but that's for work. It's not very interesting. And I will be rereading Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens, just to give it another shot. I did start listening to it on audiobook already, and it's quite funny, but it's definitely better, I think, as an audiobook. I was able to understand the humor more. But that's about it. I will definitely read other books, and we will see more about that in March than the ones I mentioned, but we'll just have to see how quickly I read. Hopefully I will read more than I mentioned. Let's move on to my February wrap-up. Quite disappointed in myself in some ways. We will see why. I will talk about it in a moment. As you can see here, this bar graph shows the amount of books I read, which was 15? Yeah, 15, which is great. The brown there is for male authors, and the maroon is for female authors. Definitely dropping the ball, only 9 to 5, and then 1 mixed authorship, and it would be male author. It would be 10 to 5, 2 out of 3. I want this to be even. I think it's actually better than January's distribution, but I want it to be 50-50 because of the population distribution in the world, and yet this is how it's turned out. To be fair, though, a lot of these are picture books by Mo Willems. I think 3 of them. And one of them was a book I started in January and just read a chapter a day. So if not for those, it would be, I think, 5 to 5 and 1 and 1. Anyway, yeah, the mixed one, the yellow here, is for the mixed authorship. This man wrote a biography on Malcolm X, but his daughter finished it, which I counted because she worked. Again, the way I do this is not perfect. There's not a perfect way to do these statistics. Anyway, so, you know, 1 biography, 1 nonfiction, which they account for 7% each. That's 14%. 3 short story collections, 4 picture books, Mo Willems, 3 children's books, and these are kind of chapter books that are for young readers, and 3 novels. Let's take a look again. You can see Mo Willems galore right there. 1 book I reread, actually. I read it last month and I didn't realize it. Yeah, 80% of the books I read were readable. 12 out of 15, not too bad. 3 unreadable, but not because they're bad books. Just, I wouldn't read them again, or they just, we will talk about them briefly. 7 people of color to 8 white people. Again, this is not exactly perfect because Mo Willems is accounted for 3 times, and they're also like, you know, picture books for very young readers. But anyway, it's more like 7 different people of color versus 5, I think, actually. Anyway, I want this to be even as well. Better this month, definitely, but could improve. Let's talk about the books I read. Oh, yeah, and this, again, of course, tells us from what continent they're from. This month, we got another South American author, Jorge Luis Borges. Very fascinating author, impossible to understand without reading again. This month, we didn't read any authors that are from Asia or come from Asia and moved to another country as part of a diaspora movement, but we will amend that in March, I hope, and we can get back to reading some more Chinese literature or maybe some other country. Read my first African novel in ever, so that was great. Hope to read more. Lots of American books. I need to read fewer and, you know, balance things out here. 1 European book, I believe that was Wuthering Heights, that I finished, and yet again, no love for Australia. Maybe we should keep it that way. Just kidding. Sorry if you're from Australia. All right. Blank. Don't worry about that. Yes, Jorge Luis Borges. I read Labyrinths, which is a collection of short stories and essays, and it is a mind bender. I mean, this guy is just on another level. Worth reading. I put it that he's a person of color, but I know Argentina is a very kind of European. I don't know what's going on over here. Well, anyway, I've ruined this thing. I read a book from Kenya by Ngũgĩ wa Thiong'o, The River Between. This book is fantastic. Lots of people have been watching my review on that, for which I am very grateful for. Thank you all so much. I really love that book. I look forward to reading more from him and more African literature because it was fantastic. I read Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. Yeah, very good. Makes me feel gross and like I have spider webs and cobwebs inside me. So that's cool. Oh, Couch Potato by Jory John was, oh my god, that book is amazing. I love that book. Man, I don't even know if you can read that, so I'm just gonna turn to my face. Yeah, Couch Potato, excellent book, came out last year. It's about a couch potato, a literal couch potato. And he learns that it's okay to go out and have fun, but it's also okay to stay inside and have fun. 3 Mo Willems books, 2 Pigeon books, and 1 with Piggy and Gerald. Always great. I read Invisible Man, which I will be making a video, and that should come out tomorrow. Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. I read it twice, actually, so maybe I should count it twice. So, actually, I read 8 to 8, and, yeah, 10 to 5 for men to women. I read this book twice. The first time I read it, I wasn't really appreciating it because I was in a bad mood for personal reasons. But I read it again to give it another shot because I thought, like, the book showed a lot of amazing things. It's fantastic. I read Gary Paulson's Hatchet. That is for work because I'm teaching it right now. Pretty fun. I also read Vincent Woodard's The Delectable Negro, which is a nonfiction book about the consumption, literal, metaphysical, commercially, and all sorts of different ways of black people, particularly black men. Very interesting to read, incredibly academic and dry. So in that way, I would never read it again. So that was part of my, no, unreadable. I read it, and I got something from it, but it was very hard to read. What is going on? Oh, okay. I finished Blood Child, short stories by Octavia E. Butler, and Unexpected Stories by Octavia E. Butler this month. Absolutely fantastic author. Must read. Very good speculative fiction. Wonderful, wonderful writing. Great short stories. And then I read Star Wars The Golden Globe and Star Wars Lyrics World, which are some chapter books for kids. They're part of the Junior Jedi Knights series. These are fine. Kind of reading them for work. I put them as my unreadable, but they're not really bad. They're just for kids, but they're, like Mo Willems' books and Jory John's books. I guess they're not technically for kids, maybe. Maybe they wouldn't want to be, like, considered a children's author. Maybe like a family author kind of thing. Anyway, not to be making a weird point about, but, like, those books by them are, like, enjoyable for anybody. And not to say that these two are not. Maybe somebody would enjoy them that is older than, the target age range. But, if I was younger, yeah, I would love them. I would say, gotta read them, but they're fine, And then Les Payne and Tamara Payne worked on The Dead Are Rising, The Life of Malcolm X. Must-read biography, okay? That's all there is to say about that. Excellent books. I read a lot of really fantastic books. No book I read was bad or even mediocre. Just fine. Which is above mediocre. I enjoyed some part of it. Or just a little too dry for me and hard to parse through the information in terms for Vincent Woodard's book. Yeah, it was a good reading month. Looking forward to March. Off to a great start with Caste, so I bid you adieu.